Hi, this is Matt, and you're listening to Bluegrass Jam Along, the podcast for anyone and everyone who loves bluegrass. Hey everybody, this is your Bluegrass Briefing for Monday, September 15th, 2023. And podcast news is the latest episode that is out is the interview with James Key from Eastern Ash Grass. So if you missed that, go and have a listen. It's on the podcast now, and that was a really cool one. I love what they're doing. Love that new record of theirs, and I'm really hoping to get to see them this week when I'm out at IBMA. So yeah, James Key interview was out on Wednesday. Go check that out. Coming up this week, I have an interview with Tom Utz and Martin Simpson, who have a fantastic new record. I've talked about it before, and there are some tracks from it in the playlist, but it's called Nothing But Green Willow, and it's a collection of songs from a collection of English folk songs that were put together by Cecil Sharp, who collected them in Appalachia in the first sort of couple of decades of the 20th century, and they put together just a really interesting bunch of British and American folk musicians to record these songs, and just a fascinating conversation, just really interesting. I never talked to Martin or Tom before, and just just a fascinating story about the songs, how they put the project together, kind of, digging in a bit to what folk music means. Just really, really enjoyable. So I'm putting that together now, and that will be out on Wednesday this week, so keep an eye out for that. And the record is also out on Friday this week, so do buy it, do stream it, do listen wherever you can. And then finally, I'm off to IBMA. As you hear this, I'll probably be on my way, or there even. I'm leaving Sunday night as I'm recording this, but I'm leaving first thing Monday morning to fly out to Raleigh. So I cannot wait for that either. But that is my news. Coming up is the Church Street News, which is your news and announcements. And the first bit of news is Punch Brothers have announced something called Energy Curfew Music Hour, which sounds fascinating. A string of gigs in New York coming up towards the end of the year. Don't know loads about them yet, but it sounds like they're going to be all acoustic. And I'm presuming that means no mics, no PA, just them in a room. Hosted by Chris Thiele and Punch Brothers, so I'm guessing a bit of a live from here vibe with some guests, other stuff going on. And they seem to be something around a partnership with Audible as well, so I'm guessing they will then be on Audible for people to listen to. I hope so. I'd love to listen to them, and I'm obviously not going to make it over to the gigs. But that sounds interesting, and I will give you more info on those as I see it. But that sounds like a really interesting thing. Punch Brothers Energy Curfew Music Hour. Then a couple of records coming up a bit later in the year to keep your eyes open for. Lonesome Ace String Band have a new record called Try to Make It Fly out in October. And True North have a new album called Fear of Falling Stars out in November. So there's a couple of things to keep your eyes out for there. But next up is The Grass Is New, which is the new releases that you can listen to this week. First up, we have the record I was talking about before, which is Tom Utz and Martin Simpson, Nothing But Green Willow. And I cannot recommend this enough. Listen to the interview I've got coming out on Wednesday and make your mind up, but it's out on Friday. There's a couple of tracks out already, and they're out there to stream. They're in the playlist. Go and have a listen. Such a good record, and I would recommend you listen to it. I would also recommend you buy this one because the packaging is beautiful. There are some shots on my Instagram account if you want to go and have a look. But there's also some really interesting liner notes about the songs, about like folk music and Cecil Sharp in general. An essay from Ted Olson, who is from East Tennessee State University. He did the really cool essay that was in the Doc Watson box set that came out. So yeah, just like one of those reasons to go and buy a physical product if there ever was one. So that's out on the 29th this week. The other thing is there's another track out from the Nancy Griffith tribute record that's coming out. It's Sarah Jarosz's cover of You Can't Go Home Again, which is also in the playlist if you want to go and have a listen. And really cool kind of collaboration between singer and song there. Sarah's great at covers. I like hearing Sarah interpret other people's music. I love her own stuff too, but I really enjoy hearing her play other people's songs because she always brings something new and different to them. Sarah Jarosz doing Nancy Griffith's You Can't Go Home Again. It's in the playlist. Go and have a listen, and it's out everywhere to stream as well. That's it really for this week. There's not much in the Scroll On Buddy thing. I've just been watching people sort of their build up to IBMA, talking about it, all the bits and pieces coming out, the schedule's out, the app's out, and I'm just getting excited to go. So I'm packing my stuff. I am checking in online for my flight, and I'm ready to head to Raleigh, which is where I will be at this time tomorrow. Very exciting indeed. So I will have that interview for you on Wednesday, Tom Utz and Martin Simpson, and then I will be having fun in Raleigh, and I will think about next week when I get back. Have a great week, everybody. If you're at IBMA between Tuesday and Thursday, I will be there, probably wearing a T-shirt saying Bluegrass Jam Along on. So do grab me, come and say hello, come and let's have a chat. It'd be really cool to meet some people. But that is it. I'll see you next week. Have a great week and happy picking. Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collings Guitars and Mandolins, making some of the finest guitars and mandolins in the world since the 1970s. Visit collingsguitars.com and find out why.